Hello, this is the headbanging Zulu here, Steve. All's right the world at the moment. Reading are out the relegation zone because we won last weekend 3-0. The weather's been absolutely atrocious down here. As you may gather, I'm not in West Midlands, I'm down south again. And the weather here has been absolutely atrocious. We've had sort of the backlash of all these storms, and I think there's another one coming, but I may be wrong. But I went out record hunting this morning, and it's been a bit funny just recently. It's been a bit difficult to say the least. But a big heavy metal collection's coming to our shop, the Rock Box, and I bought some of it. There's too much there for my pocket. I've had to leave a lot behind. I might go tomorrow to see what else is left. There's a lot of stuff there. Unfortunately, can't afford it all. But I did pick up a few bits I needed for my collection, and more the unusual bits I picked up. Without further ado, let's have a look what I've got. I apologise if I sound a bit funny. I'm still suffering with my asthma. And I had a bit of a problem, I've been not being very well, but I'm still sort of suffering with it. So I'm sorry if I make some funny gurgling noises, you know what it is. But the first CD was absolutely brilliant find for me. If you've been watching Greg the Egg, Blackmore Rules, if you haven't checked out his videos, please subscribe. He held up a CD, and we must have a psychic connection, because it's funny enough I came across it as well. And that's this one, Priestess. And this is their debut album. It's a Canadian band, that's all I know about it. And this collection that came in the shop, this is the first CD I saw of it, and I got it at a very good price as well, Greg. I actually, when Greg did the video, I put a comment down below how much I enjoyed this CD. I think he was entering a competition with it. But isn't that funny, eh, folks? Just can't believe it. But yeah, I got it at a very good price. I haven't played it yet because for some reason it doesn't like my CD player on my computer. But that's the flip side. But if it's good enough for Greg, it must be absolutely brilliant. So I definitely bought it. But it's their debut album, and it's called Hello Master. So I can't wait for that one. The next band I bought, some of you may remember, some of you may not. You don't see it held up on the VC very often, because maybe it's a load of rubbish anyway. There is 2 vinyl albums down our record store, original pressings, but you've got to have at least £100 to take them out of the shop, which I haven't got. Well, I have got, but it's a bit expensive to spend on records. But the what I had to do was settle for the CD, and it's this band called Lordy. They're just sort of, I don't know if you remember it, they used to dress up in these weird wacky costumes, and this is going back sort of a long time, and they were just a good band. Some of you may disagree with me, some of you may not, but I'd love to hear the comments down below. I'll show you the booklet. It's one of these bands, and when you see them it sort of jogs the memory. And that's the CD there. That's what they used to look like. They're a bit strange, but yeah, it's called Lordy. I hope I pronounced that right. And this one's, I can't even read this one. Oh, the Apocalypse. It's got that weird writing that you struggle to read. But yeah, I bought that one. So I've just been listening to it actually, and it's got quite a killer introduction to it. So that's another pickup I was really chuffed about. They're maybe not brilliant, or they may be fantastic, but they sort of bring back a lot of memories for me. The next one is an Australian band, and it's called Rose Tattoo. And these are sort of like, think AC/DC, but brilliant. Very, very good rock and roll band. This is a rock. I think I've got this on vinyl, but I haven't got it on CD. But I wasn't going to leave this behind for a couple of quid. And you get all those tracks on it as well. And it's just absolutely brilliant. It's called Never Too Loud, Rose Tattoo. And it's a 2 CD. I've just dropped one of the CDs. But it's a 2 CD box set. Not very much booklet action out of it. That's all you get with it, I'm afraid. Nothing a lot. But yeah, just that there, brilliant rock and roll band. If you're into Australian rock and roll, you'll love this one. I absolutely love it. Right, this was a charity shop find. The only reason why I bought it was A, because it's got John Paul Jones on it, who's ex-Led Zeppelin. You've got Dave Grohl, obviously Nirvana and Foo Fighters, and you've got a guy called Joshua Holm, Queens of the Stone Age, Eagles of Death Metal. I think he was in a band called Caius as well. This was a charity shop find. I just wanted to see what it sounded like with these three guys. But apparently it was a project they did together. I believe they are making another album. And my voice is starting to go. It'll be interesting, but I've never heard it before. I only paid 99p for it, so it'll be interesting to see what it sounds like. There's the track listing at the back, and yeah. Now the two more I bought was this one out. This is out the collection again. This is the best of Twisted Sister. I'm 99% sure I've got this one. It's got all their massive hits on here. And yeah, it needs a new case as well. But it's got all their huge hits. And I also got this one called Club Days, Live in the Bars, which is it says classic, never heard of Twisted Sister on the back. And it's got a lot of rock and roll tracks on it. I presume they must have done it before they were famous. I think Scott Waters held up an album of this stuff. Maybe he'll recognise it. But it's got those tracks on the back, and it might be before they were famous and got a proper record contract or something. But I wasn't going to leave that behind. It's got like Long Tall Sally, Johnny Be Good, which were sort of staple tracks if you were a rock and roll band in them days. But yeah, so I picked up this one as well. So I've got two. Oops, I'm a bit clumsy today, you have to excuse me. I've got two Twisted Sister albums, but I'll have to replace that case. Yeah, where are we? Now, this is a band that's local to me, and this was really made my eyes pop out. And my friend's band is actually supporting this band, because they're actually, still with us. They're still actually performing. And that's Wolfsbane. Now, the lead singer of Wolfsbane used to play in Iron Maiden, but I picked up a few of his CDs, and some of them are early, some of them are late. That's the one, Wolfsbane there. They're from Tamworth in Staffordshire, which ain't very far from me, and that's the band. And the next one I got was this one. I've never seen these before like this one. The next one I have, but this one I bought as well. This is 1991, and I have seen this album before, Lifestyle of the Broken and Obscure, and this is Wolfsbane again. This looks like a really early one. It's got 2001 on there, but I'm sure it's earlier than that. I may be wrong. And I am familiar with this album, Wolfsbane Save the World. This is a modern one. And yes, excuse me, my eyesight's that poor now, I could barely make out the dates. But yeah, I picked up all these. Didn't cost me a lot of money either, they're very cheap. So I picked them up as well. But yeah. Now the next band we've all heard of is W.A.S.P. And I picked up three of theirs. Now the ones I picked up was this album called the Neo God Part 1, because there's two parts to that. Whether it's any good or not, I'll let you decide. But yeah, you got all those tracks there as well on it. And the second one, I think, yeah, it's the Neon God Part 2. I thought it was. And that's that one. And you got the tracks off there. And I'll let you know when I played that, 'cause I think I've heard it before, but I can't actually. It was a long time ago, probably when it came out. And it's a long time. I can't really remember it, to tell you the truth. But what I do remember is this one, and this is their third studio album. This is the one Blackie hated, and I think he was coming out as a born-again Christian, or he knew in his heart he was, following a different path, and he hated it. This one. And it's got all the usual fare on it, and it's got a couple of bonus tracks, which I believe, knowing W.A.S.P, are probably B-sides. But it comes in a nice little pack, and W.A.S.P in them days used to be a really notorious band. But it comes in their traditional CD. You always knew it was a W.A.S.P album because you got that disc cutter or whatever you call it on. And yeah, I like it personally. Excuse me again about my voice. I personally think it was good, but everybody's got an opinion. That was on the front cover of the album. I've got the vinyl one of this, and you know, you got all this stuff with it. It was worth it to buy it in them days because you had Johnny Rod, Steve Riley, I believe, Chris Holmes, and Blackie Lawless. It's always worth buying this one because you get 95 and Nasty through the headphones. Remember back in the day, that was a great treat. But it's also got a good couple of yeah, it's one with the cover versions on. I'll just have a look. It's got a couple of great cover versions of it on. Restless Gypsy, I'll tell you in a minute. Sorry about Easy Living, and I'm sure I Don't Need No Doctor. That's right, it's on it as well. But Easy Living was an old Uriah Heep one, and when W.A.S.P do cover versions, they tend to be better than the originals. I'm not going to mention I Don't Need No Doctor, but Easy Living, I love that song off this one. But yeah, it's an absolute classic W.A.S.P CD, and I picked this one up as well. I've got something I could always pick up. And yeah, so I've done this, done that. It's right. I just want to show you the vinyl stuff. It is going on now. This video is about 11 minutes 19, and I did pick up another nice piece. I hope it's more of a blind buy, but it's on the Roadrunner album. It's by this is what we were rocking out to this morning. It's Vicious Rumours Digital Tool Dictator. Paid a bit of money for this. What I heard of it this morning, it's a brilliant LP. It's on the Roadrunner, and you've got Jeff Thorpe, you've got those people on the back on it, obviously, and it was just a brilliant album. I shan't get the vinyl out, but yeah, absolutely in pristine condition. Well, I'd say near mint to excellent plus. But it's original Roadrunner, but really rocked out to that this morning. It's awesome. Bit of a blind buy as well, but this one isn't a blind buy. And this is the second Alice Cooper album. I shall take the cellophane off when I get home. And this is Killers. This is a reissue. It's not an original, and it's 1970, and it's limited gold vinyl. This album's a great candidate for. You know, it was damaged goods or something. It's got cover damage, and I didn't pay a lot of money for it. If you've seen my videos before, I'm not really bothered about cover damage because it'll be played to death anyway. But this is it's got like the splatter vinyl or whatever you call it. Because it's an Alice Cooper, it's in red, and it's got stuff on like Killers and Dead Babies and Yeah Yeah, You Drive Me Nervous. And it's just a nice piece. Under My Wheels, Be My Lover, and Desperado, which is a phenomenally good track. But that's the only reason why I purchased it. I think it's 180 gram. This is, but this is like the inner cover's good. But what's happened is a lot of them are getting damaged. I don't know if anybody's noticed, but a lot of these 180 grams tend to have thicker covers. And what's happening is a lot of them are getting damaged in transit, or the covers are being damaged, or printing errors, or you know, some of them take, you know, if you drop them or anything like that. And I think the collectors, people who collect the stuff and want them absolutely pristine, are going, hang on, wait a minute, this ain't perfect, I don't want it in my collection, and they bring them back, and you get them discounted. I think it's got a scene split. I know there's something wrong with it, but I'll figure it out anyway. But it's got a scene split or something. Anyway, folks, this is going to be a part one because I haven't scratched the surface yet. There's still a lot of stuff. I might do a part two tomorrow. I might go up for another look at this collection again. But I just showed you a few bits and pieces, and I hope that whetted your appetite. And I've got to go now, but you know, just want to wish everybody I am about. If I don't make the videos as often as I did before, it's because it's been very difficult to pick stuff up at the moment. It's a bit of a drought, And it does happen. If you're a record collector, you can't have it all your way all the time. You do get these periods when nothing turns up. But yeah, so hopefully I should be recording tomorrow. But just want to wish everybody in the VC and everywhere in the world who's watching this best wishes, and I'll talk to you again soon. Thanks for putting up with me. Bye.